Welcome back to another episode of The Basement. I'm your host, Wyatt. There's been a lot of news this week about a particular topic, and that is how the COVID pandemic started. It's coming out that it may have been a lab leak, and I get that finding the origin and source of the pandemic is important, but do we need to share this with everybody? It seems like it's just going to make a lot of people upset at like a certain country or a certain lab, and then in that lab, like a specific lab technician that just like accidentally left the door open. I mean, I'm sure Neil, or whatever his name is probably very, very sorry already, and I'm sure he's full of regret. I don't think we need to get the entire world mad at Neil. It was his first day there. He feels really bad about it, you guys. And some states are giving away free custom guns as an incentive to get the vaccine, which is a great idea, but now the majority of people in Texas have gotten vaccinated at least 3 times. Washington State is doing something similar. They're giving a free joint away whenever you get your vaccine. And that is another good idea, but it doesn't even make that much sense. You could just give them the joint. No one's going to get COVID if they're alone and stoned on their couch. And a Texas tourist got mugged in Times Square. If only he had gotten the COVID vaccine. Then he would have had something to protect himself. This wouldn't have happened. There was also an article this week about the 13 best Father's Day gifts. And here was the picture with the article. All of these scream, I have no idea what my father's like. And I've never had a real conversation with him. These are all things that you could win in like an office lottery. Not something that you'd get for someone that raised you. It's crazy. Our movie review for this week is Speed, which is probably the most stressful thing I think I've ever had to watch. It's definitely way more stressful than any standardized test I've ever had to take too. And the basic plot isn't even that stressful. It's just a retired police officer that wants to save some money for retirement. The way he goes about it, that's what makes it very, very stressful. But just the basic plot, not stressful at all. This is not a great movie to watch if you have any sort of fear of public transportation. That includes elevators, subways, especially buses. And if this movie came out today, though, it would be the best ad for Uber I think I've ever seen. After you watch this movie, you're not going to get on a bus for like a month. No one would do that. This movie is also very similar, I feel like, to the Fast and Furious movies if they were just called Fast, because that's like the main point of this entire movie. This movie also has my favorite cinematic character, I think, of all time. He's played by the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off that's not Ferris Bueller. And he just says the most normal things while in a near-death scenario for like the entire movie. He's there just touring LA, and he's like, oh man, guess I'll just have to tour LA in this bus now. Oh no, I've already seen the airport. He's gonna die. Like, 90% chance he's going to die, and he's completely okay with that. It's the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen. This episode of The Basement was brought to you by your high school graduation practice. Do you hate yourself, are a glutton for pain, and really just want to suffer? Well, then you'll love high school graduation practice. It's basically your graduation, but without all of the important stuff, and there's no one there except for you and your entire class sitting in hot plastic chairs in a football field, just listening to names being called, and only one of them's yours. And after they call it, you can't leave. You've got to sit there for another hour. It's awful. So if you want to know what it'd be like to go to hell and then come all the way back with your entire high school class, you'll love high school graduation practice. Thanks for watching another episode of The Basement. I'm your host, Wyatt, and don't forget to let me know what movie you'd like me to review next down in the comments. I'll see you next time.